Hello Pisces, it's Tarot by Tess with your 17 reading. A few cards fell out, and by a few I mean a lot, so I thought I'd go over those. First, you have the Page of Swords upright. So I see there's a need to communicate very clearly and very honestly, because I get the feeling people might think you're gossiping. If you're not, if you are, then they're just on you. And I think that you'd be stepping on people's toes when it comes to work or even in your relationships. Because we have Three of Pentacles reversed. So this sees that people don't want to work with you or you don't want to work with others. So there's a lack of cooperation. Nobody wants to work with you. And it could be they don't want to work with you because they sense that you don't want to work with them. I also see somebody kick you out, because this is a house card, like moving in with a partner. So somebody kick you out of the house. And then I also see losing a job because somebody thinks you're not as good at your job as you think you are. And then we have the World. So I see the need to join, come back into the real world, no longer being isolated. Because honestly, when I look at this Page of Swords, I see somebody all by themselves, and they are ready with that sword if somebody comes near them. They're going to cut them, But I can see you're not really sure which way you want to go because one foot is this way, one foot's the other way. You're looking that way, but your body's going this way. So you're not really sure if you want to stay or go or not. And here this is saying that you'll have some kind of an end of a cycle and a new cycle starts, kind of like a graduation. And this could possibly be travel. So if you get kicked out, you need to travel somewhere else. And then I'm seeing the need to join into a group. But be wary of, again, being in your bubble, okay? Because you may be emotionally happy in your bubble, but nobody around you seems to be very happy with you. Okay, so now we have the Star. So I think once you get out of your bubble and you join the world again, you'll get some kind of a healing. You'll get recognition. You'll feel special. That kind of thing. I think you'll also be able to be vulnerable. And you don't have to fight anymore. This is giving up the fight, no longer needing to feel recognized because you are. So here you get recognized, or it says you wanting to be recognized and you're not. It could be either one. But hopefully it's both, where you want recognized, you're not, but then you get recognized and you no longer have to fight for it. Usually wanting to be recognized is here. So I'm thinking you're either not wanting to be recognized, which I doubt that because of the Star, or you no longer have to fight for it. And then we have Two of Pentacles reversed. So this says you know exactly what you want. You're not in the rat race. I think you may be leaving like a work environment. This says putting an end to some kind of a cycle. I'm not sure what the cycle is, but Two of Pentacles usually involves work. Now there could possibly be like third-party business because this person right here can be a little sneaky. And I can see this as not dating. And this is somebody who had juggled more than one person, or they were trying to juggle work and love, and they just stopped because they couldn't do it. And then we have the Hermit, which is being single. You notice he has the Star in his lantern. So it's like he's taking this recognition with him everywhere he goes. Or he's still searching for that recognition, that feeling special that perhaps he may not have gotten. And so he left. And the thing I don't like about this, guys, is you're supposed to be joining the world, not leaving it. And here you are leaving it. Okay? This is you being all by your lonesome and cut off. And it's like people don't want to work with you for some reason. And I think it's how you're communicating. It could be about gossip, but people see you as a little bit sneaky. So I would watch that, okay? Right, that's not even part of the reading. That just popped out. All right. If you hear any noises, those are cats, and I do apologize. I just couldn't stare at the wall anymore upstairs, so I came downstairs. Staring at a wall all day can really take a toll. By the way, I hope you guys are having a very peaceful Memorial Day, because that's the day I'm making this video. There's the cats. Lovely as ever. Alright. Okay, we have Five of Cups, disappointment in love. Somebody have had a third party. I don't think it's you, though. Or you're still focused on an old love. Okay, and then we have the Tower. So I see you're holding on to some kind of a disappointment, especially in love. And you're not seeing that there could be something out there for you that's really good. But you're not letting go of this. So you're getting an intervention. It could also be a personal revelation. My hope is this next card is going to be something about love, because sometimes the Tower could be love at first sight and it just kind of strikes you. At least that's my interpretation sometimes. King of Swords. Okay. So I'm seeing the need to be analytical. Okay. Use more of your logic. And don't be so stubborn. This is somebody who's really super stubborn. They need to control their thoughts and communicate better. This is the Page of Swords all grown up. Okay. So he still has those Page of Swords tendencies. But he's growing out of them. Then we have the Sun reversed. Okay. So I see like a loss of a job, loss of love, loss of possibly a house, and then being depressed. But it's a temporary depression. It's not going to be forever. And any obstacles that there are, you're going to overcome them. I think it's all about holding on to this old grief. High Priestess reversed. Okay. So this is saying you know with your intuition what's going on. You just don't like what you see or what you feel. And I think at first somebody is keeping a secret. They're trying to keep it from coming to light. But it's coming to light because she's reversed. And this is the cat's out of the bag. Okay. So it comes out at some point. Where is the Sun and the High Priestess reversed here? Okay, Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands to me, when it's a secret, is an affair. And I see somebody focused on an affair and being very despondent. And I could see getting into a depression because you were passive for way too long. And an Ace of Wands is needing to have some courage, okay? Needing to have some kind of inspiration. This could be inspiration, but maybe it's not coming through very clearly. And then it's like a lack of inspiration and a lack of knowledge to support it. And so you're not really getting that right now. Okay, yeah. Three of Cups. So Three of Cups is an affair. So that's something that's been hidden, but it's coming out. I'm seeing somebody is joining with someone else that they probably shouldn't be. And I'm seeing if you lost a job, you really know why. It's because you wouldn't join in and you didn't have the creative ideas that you needed. Sorry, I have a kitten, you guys, and he's rambunctious. Okay, Death reversed. Yeah, somebody wasn't letting go. Somebody wanted to revive an old love. Even though it looks like they betrayed you. And it's like you didn't want this end to be absolute, but it really is. Ooh, Five of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, the King of Swords in here, he's not reversed, but with the Five of Swords, this says somebody committed a crime against you. And I think it might be a literal crime because we have the Tower. And almost, this person is mourning. And we have Death reversed, like wanting something to come back from the dead. Or cheated death. So, I don't know if somebody, I'm just throwing this out there, if somebody tried to murder you or tried or succeeded in murdering somebody you love. I'm not sure about that. But we'll keep going, see what else we get. I'm seeing some kind of accident or bullying. Six of Pentacles. Somebody be showing favoritism in the workplace. It's because they're a bully. And you also might want a lot of attention, and you want to be noticed. Nine of Cups. Okay. So even though things might be bad for a little while, remember it's temporary, and you're going to get what you want. In fact, somebody will be very generous to you. Might be a boss, possibly a lawyer. But I think whoever this King of Swords person is, they're cutthroat. Whatever they do. They may not be like really bad. They may be like a criminal lawyer, and that's why I'm seeing that. And they're very, they don't play any games. They get people where it hurts. And so you may get some kind of alimony from some kind of tragedy that happened. So there could be some kind of crime because they're a criminal lawyer. And I see something about death and mourning, so, and cheating death. Okay, now we have the Emperor. So it's another kind of a court card. And it's the High Priestess reversed, clarifying it. So I'm seeing there's some kind of philosophical belief that you're needing to integrate to turn the High Priestess right side up. And that would help you, like, this is an integration, like joining together. I'm seeing you'll get what you want, Nine of Cups, if you start absorbing some other people's rules about society and just social skills in general. And then you'll be able to join a group and have some kind of new start. I'm also just seeing him as being victorious because he's sitting on his throne. And the Nine of Cups person has everything they need, and they're sitting on their little bench with their arms crossed, feeling very satisfied. And it doesn't even look very smug, so. Okay, yeah. Eight of Swords is accidents and death. It's also feeling trapped, like not letting something go. So there's two scenarios. Can't let go of something, and then somebody was injured or killed or nearly killed. And so they were just injured. And there would be somebody committed a crime against you, and you have a criminal lawyer, and you're going to get paid. Okay, Magician. Yeah, somebody's definitely manipulating something. But with this Tower, I told how sometimes it could be a revelation. Well, with Magician, I'm saying, yeah, it is a revelation. This is also like magic. So it may be that you very nearly miss death. And I think this would be a doctor. And this doctor does some kind of magic and heals you. And I'm also seeing he's a really good communicator. And so it's the King of Swords. So again, the need to communicate more clearly is showing up. He's also a card about taking action. Take action on this inspiration you have, or this motivation or courage. I'm not sure why, but I'm getting time is of the essence. Seven of Wands, stand up for yourself. When you go before a judge, okay, you need to stand up for yourself and get paid. So this will be less about work now than it is about some kind of a court case. Because maybe there's some things that weren't very happy. If there was a third party, you may be going to court about that. But I'm still seeing something else going on here. But whatever kind of court case it is, you need to stand up for yourself. Because it looks like, for some of you, if you don't stand up for yourself, you probably have to pay out. You feel like you're under attack. But see, with Seven of Wands, you may be giving some kind of a testimony about how you were attacked. Okay? This Tower it's no joke. But whatever was bad over here, you may, if you do all these kinds of steps, end up celebrating and having a new start. That's a possibility. Okay, yeah. The Hanged Man here, I could see it as getting a new perspective, okay? So getting that revelation. Also waiting for the opportunity. And I'm possibly seeing a psychologist. Maybe like heal your mind from an attack. And you may be talking about how you felt like you were attacked and almost like you were sacrificed or something. Some of you have tried to hang somebody. Okay, Five of Wands, obstacles. And this is the card that was in your other one that was in reverse. So this is fighting and quarreling. So I think being a little defensive about what the High Priestess has let out, what kind of information. And you're needing to be in control. I'll tell you this. Sometimes the High Priestess in reverse is being too passive. And the Emperor is saying, you need to take some action, take control. But if she's in reverse, she could also be the opposite. This is being passive and waiting for the right time. And this is taking action. Okay. So we have two cards that talk about taking action. And it may be over this rivalry thing that we saw in the last reading, where the Five of Wands was reversed. But I'm seeing, somebody's coming out, so they're going to be noticed. And this person has a presence because they're in control of everything. They run everything. Yeah, I'm seeing if you don't fight and you don't take control and speak up and take action, you may lose some money. You may lose a house. You may lose a job. Whatever. It's like some kind of monetary something going on. But also, this is an accident and injury card. It's more so when it's in reverse, but it's still a card that talks about accidents and injuries. So maybe you narrowly escaped something or you've been healed from this, but it still happened. All right, let's get some information going on here. What action steps do Pisceans need to take to have a good outcome for a team? Okay, so you need to settle in court. So when I say fight, it just means like have your say, let people know what's going on, tell your side of the story. But there may be some kind of monetary loss anyway, so make sure you're prepared. Okay. I'm also seeing that maybe for the opposite is you need to save some money and get out of a toxic relationship. This is a toxic relationship. And a lot of the time, the advice is the opposite of whatever the card is. This would be the need to be single and self-sufficient, because here you're dependent on somebody, and that's not usually a good thing. Three of Wands reversed. I'm just going to tell you, I have no idea why that's here. I mean, I see somebody's not expanding their horizons. So I guess that means staying or standing your ground and settling. So I'm seeing a lot about settling. It may be settling old grievances, settling quarrels, or just settling for not being recognized. It's kind of sad, though. Three of Wands upright. Okay. I hate it when I get those. They are the exact same card or the card but in different positions. So your legal team, which is the Three of Wands, may not be very strong. And so I'm seeing that you need to get a strong legal team, or this card could be in reverse, but I never pulled these in reverse. So it could be saying you just have a really bad legal team. Hold on a second. Stop! The cat is just pulling at an air vent for no reason. That's crazy. The cat drives me crazy, you guys. Alright, what is the outcome for Pisceans for the month of 18? Okay, so you're making a decision. You're no longer blind to something, which I don't think you were with the High Priestess reversed. But you may feel very vulnerable, or you're opening yourself up to be vulnerable. And with the Emperor in your reading, somebody have been playing some kind of really long power game. Okay, Six of Cups. So someone from the past may have been doing that. Maybe giving up some kind of tragedy from the past that may have had to do with a third person. Perhaps you wanted to settle down, the person didn't. And Seven of Cups. Choose wisely. So I'm seeing you be very nostalgic about the past. Stop it. I'm I'm throwing a pillow at him because he keeps making noises. But I think you be a little unrealistic about the past. And so this is saying you need to kind of face reality a little bit. Because this person's facing reality. I think this is what you finally decided to let go of. Some kind of fantasy about the past. And because we have some cups here, it could be a drinking problem too. Okay, one last card. Queen of Wands. So this is going to be you, Pisces. This is you being all isolated and focusing on love, but you're emotionally balanced. And it may just be that you need some time to recharge after all this stuff that seems to have gone on. Well, Pisces, I hope this reading resonated with you and it gives you some kind of clarity. And sorry about cats. Good luck.